play where you do like one. Remember like A, B. It was like.
Howdy. Welcome on into the pre-show before the free show, and happy Friday. It's finally Friday.
It is finally
your
Friday.
last day dealing with Pickle and I's nonsense. Tepper
Yes.
will be back in a little bit.
Yeah, not only the last day dealing with that, but also like the first Friday show we've had in a long time.
Yeah, I know.
And
It's felt
so
like it.
since there is, of course, our last day of dealing with nonsense, we had to add even more nonsense
to
into
it,
this.
so.
And without further ado, we welcome in Erin Hartigan or Wilkerson. Are we supposed to call you Hartigan, Wilkerson? What do we do here?
Listen, you know as well as anyone, Hot Mess Hartigan is a brand
Right.
that I
Yeah.
think is very hard to build.
Yes.
So I don't know.
I feel like you
I've
have
been
to
called
keep
worse.
that.
Call me whatever you want. I've been called worse. Just know that.
Well, yes. Well, and that's the other thing that I always have to think
I've been
about.
called worse.
The other thing that like I have to think about too is like I will be in the same boat one day. How in the world am I supposed to give up Pickle? Like,
yeah, you can't.
I
you
would
can't
be
get
dumb
better than
to
that, I don't
give
think.
up Pickle.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Tepper brought up a good point. It is 2022.
Uh-huh.
Can we just create new last names? Like, could we merge? Could we create a Wilkerson Hartigan blend? He suggested
So-
Harterson, which I don't know. I'm like, come on,
I don't know if I like that one.
Yeah.
There's gotta be
Wilkigan. No.
Wilkigan.
Wilkigan. I like that.
I like Wilkigan.
Like, why not? It's 2022. Can I just like
Yeah.
create a new last name?
Yeah.
So our
we
customer
still-
service rep
I think we
is
just-
getting married in, I think, next year, and she said she's going to hyphenate. So she's going to still have her last name on most documents, but she's just going to hyphenate it. So it's Emma Klingenpeel dash her new last name.
Okay, why
So I
can't-
think that's a good idea.
Genuine question. Like, why can't, like, who decided, like, back in the
We
Stone
take-
Age that the women had to take the,
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean?
I want to keep
Can we
my
change
last
that?
name.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are past that.
Like we're
Can
Way
we decide
past
today
that
that
now.
that's changing?
the time has expired on
Yeah.
that. Like
I've even talked about it with Graham, my boyfriend. I'm like, if we do get married, I think I'm going to keep my last name. I'm
well,
sorry
your
to
boyfriend's
tell
last
you,
name. I'm just gonna.
Wait,
I mean,
yeah.
they all know it's Shank.
It's
So that's
Shank.
like a.
So it's
not
very
a
abrupt.
good
It's
Yes.
very
last
abrupt.
name, really.
Right. Yes.
Like no
It's
offense
very,
to
like-
the
it's
rest
like
of the Shanks, but yeah.
Shank, yeah.
So you're
yeah.
avoiding Shank, and you're not giving up Pickle. I
No,
will not let
there's
you give up
there's
Pickle.
no way.
Yes.
I mean, especially too. Here's the thing: like
As a
we got to
friend,
think
won't let you
about
give that up.
one, just normal life. I feel like you don't want to miss out on Pickle, but
No.
especially with what we do, like
It's
that's
memorable,
a good TV name,
and it's
you
It
know?
a
is.
great conversation starter.
Exactly.
I
Yeah,
was going to
it's-
say it's memorable.
I
It's
mean,
very memorable.
You know,
Well, and that's what. Yeah, most of the time I don't even really introduce myself anymore as Ashley because no one. Ashley's a very basic name. No one remembers me as Ashley.
well, and
It's
then when
always
you
Pickle.
interview Scott Peach, I can no longer make like the pickle
the
with the
pickle
peach joke.
jokes. Yep,
so
that always
let's
happens.
just
That's
avoid-
so funny.
yeah,
Can you just keep it for that sake
Yeah.
only?
that one
That
specific thing. Whenever I talk to Coach Peach,
No,
that's it.
Wait, the best part of that was that same week that we had Pickle with a Peach, we had Katie
Katie.
in Katie and Austin in Austin. Austin and I were
Oh,
actually talking about
yeah.
that last
That's
night.
so funny.
because Katie
So,
was
the
doing the
puns were aplenty.
Katie Tompkins game. So it was Katie covering Katie and Katie, and all the rest of the
And then
Katies.
Austin was and so listen,
We need to write
Tepper.
this out.
It was like on a silver platter for Greg Tepper and his Tepperisms that night. Let's just say.
They were
Tepperisms.
yeah, they're bountiful. They're always there.
Yeah,
That is-
if you married somebody with the last name Peach, you could say Pickle.
There was a pickle
Ashley
women wedding
Pickle
one time.
Peach.
Pickled peach.
Pickle Peach.
Well, that's the thing. They wanted. We actually talked about this
Pickle
last
peach.
night. That's terrible.
Peter Piper picked a pickle pear.
Yeah, exactly.
Mallory just nailed that, by the way. You were on
did.
today. You were on today,
She
okay.
didn't even
Get on my
stutter
level.
through it at all.
she's like a roll.
That's like the first time. That's rare.
Yeah.
That's very rare.
That's what we were
rare.
talking about last night. My mom always wanted to have a boy named Dylan, and then she married my dad. And it's like, I can't do that. It would have been Dylan Pickle, Dill Pickle. Like,
Oh,
But that's
that's a
kind of
missed
awesome.
opportunity.
Thank
That's
you.
more of a
Thank
missed
you.
opportunity than
have you-
I.
okay, let me tell you from a girl that went through middle school with the last name Pickle, the jokes are enough. Like you don't need to add to
You're
it.
like, I'm done. I
Yeah,
can't.
the junior high boys are ruthless.
Oh,
and
they
so
are.
it
Yeah.
was bad enough. We didn't need to add
Okay,
fuel
so,
to the fire.
so
Yeah,
that's
no.
why, like, as William and I kind of like, try to think of like children's names. Like we're like the worst. We think of like, how could kids make fun of this name, and then we eliminate it.
Well, you
Yeah.
have to. You have,
have
to
to.
nowadays.
Like,
you absolutely
Your future
have to.
kid will one day go back and watch this clip and go, "Thanks, mom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Appreciate it."
Like, I feel like that's not how we should approach it, but that's where we are. He's like, no way. He's like, okay. I mean, there's like a knock joke that goes. I'm like, nope, off the list.
Well, and you also think about people that you knew. Like if there was
Right.
a kid that you went to school with, like I always run into that. Like you go to school with and just say Bobby or something, and it's like I knew a Bobby once. forget that guy. We're not doing that. So it's like it knocks names out.
Well, Tepper said Jen. That was the problem with Jen. Jen is a school teacher. So she's had a lot of different names come through that classroom that have ruined the names that she once loved. So, I don't know. But you're keeping Pickle. So all that said, she's keeping Pickle.
Yeah.
And you're
Doesn't
still
matter.
Hartigan. So that's where that's where the whole thing started. And on that note, Mallory, hit the theme exo. Yes, y'all. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Louisville, Texas. It is Texas Football Today, a show on the internet. I'm Ashley Pickle, the video director for Dave Campbell's Texas Football, a magazine, and TexasFootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, or listening to us on the podcast version, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice, thank you for supporting your local mediocre internet show. I am sitting here. We'll go ahead and go over to the helm. We have Mallory Hartley. Malpal, how are you?
Doing well. Happy to be here as always.
And the clapping is not coming from me, because if you go to my right, we are joined by Erin Hartigan.
Boom.
I can't ever wait for my introduction.
Yeah.
You just start
Okay.
I'm over here.
We can hear you. There's a mic in front of you. Stop clapping. We'll get to you. It's like the kid in class. Like, I see your hand raised. We'll get to you.
We are joined by Erin Hartigan. Excited to have her on as we had to celebrate the last day without Greg Tepper being here. Today is Friday, January 14th, 314 days until Thanksgiving. January 14th, the birthday of LL Cool J. He turns 53 today.
Nice.
So there's a little drop the mic right there. LL Cool J turning 53. So happy birthday to him. This is episode 1313. On today's show, my friends, it's Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday. Your opportunity to ask Erin anything and everything that you've wanted to ask her for your entire life.
That's appropriate for air.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
well,
yes.
To a certain extent.
Right.
Yeah. So there's that. Mallory, do we have first four through the door?
We sure do. So it was Erin Arbuckle, Daniel Agnew. We'll do Matt McSpadden because we only have 3 right now. And then, now this is not a name. This is just a tag. I don't know who it is, so I'm going to read out the tag. It's 03 Bodied Stepside. Welcome in, fellas.
Bodied stepside.
Welcome in, fellas.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Coming in hot.
Coming in.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
A quick thing before we get to Mailbag Friday, we did want to give you a little bit of an update here. We had told you Matt Stepp in his health. He has obviously been in the hospital for the past couple of weeks, and he is getting out of the hospital today. So super excited for him. Thank you so much to everyone who has donated to that GoFundMe. We're still not at our goal. If you haven't donated, you can visit our website and all the information is on there. But Matt Stepp had some health issues there, and he tweeted out earlier, quick health update, I'm getting released from the hospital today and will be continuing my treatment at home for the next 5 weeks. Thanks to Texas high school football community for the prayers and well wishes, along with the amazing support. Special thanks to Max Thompson for organizing that GoFundMe. So super excited to Stepp. The process is still going to go. We've still got a while to go before he's back to full health and everything, but things are looking incredibly positive. He's going to finally get to see his wife, which is great, and be with family and not be in a hospital bed. So we are so excited for Stepp. Thank you to everyone who donated. It means the world to all of us. So we appreciate it.
Thank God. Mike Craven said it best. Our guy Mike Craven said, why not help a guy who would quite literally rip the shirt off of his back if you needed it.
Absolutely.
That's Matt Stepp.
Yeah, definitely.
In a nutshell. And I can only imagine how stir crazy he is right now, having knowing how nonstop this dude is.
So no work or anything. I can't even
so
imagine
bored that he called into our staff meeting on Wednesday.
We're like, what are you doing?
There was a little Zoom thing because you can dial in the Zoom, and we do. Our staff meetings, we do part of it on Zoom because we have all of our Texan Live guys down in Houston. Mm-hmm. So we put them up on the big TV that's in the conference room and stuff. And so we see a little Zoom thing come up, and it's the little cell phone emoji thing that pops up. And we were like, who is this? And then
Step.
And he was like, hi guys, and I was like, oh my god, you must be so bored if you're coming to a staff meeting
on a Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, and we also said, we were like, I don't think Sepp could ever get tired of Twitter, but I feel like he's probably got to be even tired of refreshing Twitter at this point.
God,
I can't even imagine.
God, thank God though, thank God. He's a special person. We all love him, and we thank everyone out there for supporting him and his family through this. Cannot wait to see him again. I'm sure he feels the same, right?
Yeah.
He's going, no. Actually, I think I'm good in here.
Yeah, by the way, I'm sure Steph is watching this, thinking this right here is like Greg Tepper's worst nightmare.
Oh, it is.
Three of us hosting his baby. Like, I am loving this.
Oh yeah,
he's terrified.
We actually we had a going away party last night for lovely Chandra Lancaster. We're gonna miss her dearly, but she was going away, and then our guy Devin, who was on the sales team, he recently accepted a new job at North Texas but we had a going away party for them last night, and I had invited Tepper, wondering, like, I don't know if he'll show up. I don't know if he's able to show up, but he was there. So it was the first time we had seen him in like forever. And it was like, whoa, he exists still. Like,
I saw him walk in and I was just like, I had to like double take. I'm like, is he still alive? I thought he quit or something. Like, I thought I was going to be.
Why are you in jeans?
Why are you in jeans? Literally.
Why are you so dressed up? For me, that
I know.
I asked him, I said, you hear who we're having on the show tomorrow? And he was like, no. Why would I be watching the show? And I was like,
watch the show, Greg Tepper.
I know.
He said he tuned in for like 30 seconds of an episode and then went, why am I doing this? And he goes, I haven't watched since. And he goes, has it been going well? And I was like, yeah. But I asked him, I said, you see who we have on? And I said, we have Erin on. And he goes, oh my God.
Oh my God. Okay, listen, I am just relishing in the fact that the baby that he and Max Thompson like created.
Oh yeah, and we're setting this place on fire.
We're ready.
Here we are.
I love it.
Brace yourself.
Before we move on to Mailbag, I want to mention that I did mess up. I didn't look at Facebook for first four through the door, and Trish and Rhonda are in fact a little upset at me.
Oh no!
My mother and her mother are
do not make
upset,
moms mad,
so
Mallory.
I'm so
you
sorry
one
to
job.
Trish and Pickle. I did not check Facebook I was on YouTube for first four thugh the door, so I wanted to give a quick shout out to them as well.
I can't believe you're hanging out with that Hartigan chick. She's an awful influence. Wait, what do I tell interns? Do as I don't do as I do, and you'll be just fine.
Right.
So, I love that. Putting that on the back of my head.
Example.
They're in great hands if they just steer far.
I'm sure they're both saying the same thing about themselves. All moms do that. They're like,
no,
no, we want you to turn out better than we did.
Yes.
That's what they always say.
Absolutely.
They're killing it. They are absolutely annihilating the game right now. And above that, they are just great human beings. They're the sweetest hearts, and that's all you can really ask for.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, thank
people
you.
in the comments are like, all right, shut this down. No more. No more.
My mom said, how do we get Erin's mom on board? So she's already, she's ready.
They're probably like, everyone, like all the dudes watching are like, why are they so sappy? This is weird.
Yeah.
Because like we're never.
No.
Yeah, let's like, I don't know. Let's talk like, dude stuff.
Let's talk like football or something. Like sports.
Which I guess is a good segment into Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday. Malval, you have a read.
I do have some kind of read. The North Texas Honda dealers want to help you score some great deals on award-winning Hondas. Stop by your Helpful Honda dealer today or visit ntxhondadealers.com to learn more.
It is Helpful Honda Mailbag Friday, where we answer your questions. They can be about football. They do not have to be about football, and that's why we brought Erin in. Do we have any questions so far?
Well, we can start off with Erin Flynn's question that I think is very interesting. It says, how many apples can you hold in one hand while you're holding a bag of lemons in the other? And I don't know if this is a reference to something, so Erin, if you want to explain your question, please do. But
yeah, like, is this a trick question? Like, meaning you're holding the bag of lemons, so like how do you, or do I have to grab with, like, let's say I'm holding the bag of lemons in my right hand, am I having to grab the apples with my left because I can't?
That's true.
It's like how do you do that kind of thing?
Put the apples in your hand?
I will tell you, Erin, the reason I wasn't a pitcher is because I actually don't have very big hands. So I probably can't hold many.
I was going to say, yeah, I definitely,
true.
I have
huge hands.
I bet you I have the biggest hands out of all of us.
Have we tried it before?
Okay,
You have tiny hands.
Okay,
You're just tiny in general.
So
no.
I'm 6 foot, size 9 shoe, and like small hand. Like I'm weird. And it's disproportionate.
With 6
We
foot
are too though.
We are, yeah, because
we all are.
I couldn't grip the softball like most pitchers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is
So-
funny.
We all are though. We're all just. I have a size 9.5 foot, so.
I'm
5'3", 5'4".
Anywhere. I mean, it depends on the shoe, obviously. On sandals and stuff, I'll go down more to like a 9.5 if I can do it. But most time with tennis shoes, it's like 10.5, 10. I got big feet and hands.
So then
I'm just lanky.
Okay, so how many apples could you hold then?
Oh, I don't know. Well, the other thing, Mallory brought this up because we were actually discussing this prior to the show because that came off of a Twitter question there. But it depends on the apples too. Like, are we talking about like the cheap bag of the horrible red delicious apples that are like this big? Because at that point, I could probably do like 5 apples in my hand.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about a legit, like you said, good Honeycrisp apple, they're big.
How about
you can
this?
hold about 2.
How about this? Just got my nails done. Can I stab them?
Ooh,
that's a good point. So if you want, you could do. Here,
you know what I mean?
You have to do one on this one, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just stab 5 of them with your nails. There you go. So that's a good way to get around that, I guess. I don't know.
So
I feel like we figured it out.
Erin, my answer is with a fresh set of nails.
More
5.
than just regular.
Now, I don't know if the nails will hold through it, but 5.
5. I like it. Also, I just don't understand where the bag of lemons plays into this. But there's probably like some legit.
Well, when life gives you them, put them in a mimosa, you know?
Exactly.
That's a good point.
Well, okay, someone said, he said, adding to the question, could you hold more apples in your left or right hand? Does that change things? It absolutely does change things.
I can hold more in
my
my
left
right.
hand is useless.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can make a left-handed layup, and that is the only thing that I have ever found that I can do with my left hand.
Because you're a baller. Because, I mean, you know.
No.
She's
but
modest. She is.
It's like my right hand, I have a lot more strength. And I know that even from working out. Like, I've got a lot more strength in my right arm than I do in my left. My whole left side is just so useless.
It is. Mine is too.
Not to go off on a tangent, but literally at Orange Theory the other day. Remember that Powerade commercial? Or it was like a Gatorade commercial where it was like, they had like a heavier weight in one arm and like because like they were trying to like even out the arms. I felt that way at Orange. I was like, I feel like I need to go heavier in my left.
I need a 5 here and a 10.
I was like, this one's way bigger than this one. So I was like, I'm totally living out that sports drink commercial that I cannot remember right now.
That's a good point though. It really
but it's
is.
true. Like your right is much
stronger. Yeah. Just I mean, I utilize it so much. Even opening doors. You know, it's like everything that I do with my right hand. So I'm naturally going to be also grip strength plays a lot into that. Like my grip of my right hand is going to be a lot stronger than my left.
Don't get us started on grip strength. Oh boy.
Wait, with you being a basketball star, did you ever train? Did you ever do anything? I'd heard of like some girls that like would start like eating with their left, like doing different things in life with their left hand
on purpose to try and
to try to like become a little more.
That probably would have helped out a little bit. I mean, shoot, my dad's probably going to listen and go, God, well, she should have done that. But no, I will say, I know in practice and stuff though, if I was ever dribbling for a drill that we could choose to go whatever way, I would always try and do it with my left. So that way I could get better and better with that because it was like if I sat there and did it with my right the whole time, there was no way that I was ever going to work on that. So it's like anything, like even just going to shoot around with the guys or whatever after a workout, it was like I would always try to do everything with my left hand to get better at needing to use it.
Yeah.
She was like in the Disney movie. What was the one where they touched the nose, the twins? Okay,
nope.
Maybe I'm dating myself.
No.
Never mind.
Is it Parent Trap?
Double Teamed.
Oh,
do you remember Double?
I've
Okay.
Not seen that.
Oh.
She goes, I'm dating
listen,
myself.
we'll catch you all up on.
I'll catch you youngins up
Disney.
on
I'll tell you all the old people stuff after the show.
The one thing, since we're on the topic of arm workouts, real fast, this reminds me. I was asking. We asked Step if Step said I could give the update on him and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was asking how he was feeling, and he was like, it's day by day process. He's doing better, but he said definitely gonna be a while before I can hit the gym and blast my pecs. And I responded with, probably for the better. Your dream of ever being able to compete with the cannons needed to end eventually. So anyway, if that doesn't show you that Step is in really good spirits, he's like, yeah, doing really good, but he can't get in there and blast his pecs, as he said.
Is Step watching? Do we know if Step's watching?
I believe so.
He probably is.
Step, I've worn this before, but I'm wearing it again because it's the first time with Pickle. This T-shirt right here represents Ashley Pickle's return to the alma mater for the first time as a then Fox Sports Southwest reporter.
Yeah, that was a cool time. Yeah, shout out Kevin Kelso and the design shop out there.
Who?
San Sama Armadillos.
Yeah, I mean, what a game!
It was. Yeah, no, that was the best part about that is Tepper. like going back to that, Tepper and I had really been like we put that in the producer's ear early in the season because we were like, is there a way that I could get to a Llano game? And we looked at it and it was the 4th week of the season, and it's like, okay, it's right before district starts. It's across town. We found out it was homecoming. We're like, this is all. He goes, if they're both 3-0, we can make it happen. They were both 3-0, and then it ended up being such a good game. Llano won in like the final 20 seconds of the game, and that was one of the coolest experiences. But yeah, obviously the town found out that we were coming, so they made shirts.
That is so cool.
Well, and the return of the homecoming queen, Mallory. I mean,
oh Lord,
she is Miss Everything,
right?
Miss Llano.
No.
You
are. I was.
My
smells
whole
like
life is just to keep up with her.
It
I'm
is.
keeping it simple.
We gotta stop
Man,
this.
do you see? I just this week I have bags under my eyes because I'm just trying to keep up with you, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. But yeah, I always try and keep up with you.
to keep up
Do
with
we
both of
have
y'all.
another question, Mallory?
We sure do. We'll go ahead and switch it to realignment. What would surprise you the most about realignment? I guess. Is the question. So
someone asked me this the other night at the office, and speaking of Step, I had seen one of his tweets this past season. One of his millions of tweets this past season. The one, remember that one?
Yeah.
Remember that one that he tweeted about the addition of 7A.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, it's not going to be this next year,
Right.
but from what I've gathered, we could see it as early as 2023.
That's wild to
Yeah,
me.
I mean, it would be, I guess it would technically end up being, since this is 2022, it would be 2024 because realignment would come once every 2 years.
Math. I was told I was not a part of this.
But yeah, I mean,
Alas, here we are.
The way that it's going, I would say it's looking more like it will happen than not.
It's because if you think about it, I mean, it's like we already have over 1,400 UIL schools in the state, and we're only adding more, and they're only growing. Mm-hmm. And it would surprise me, but it wouldn't,
right?
Because it's Texas, and like Coach Purcell often reminds me to put into perspective how large this state is. If you took El Paso and you grabbed it and you folded it over across the country, it'd be in the Atlantic Ocean. If you took like Texarkana and you folded it over, it'd be in the Pacific. I mean, that's how much ground Texas covers, and it's just, I don't know, when you really and then it was like when we covered Stratford in the state championships, and we threw out the nugget. I think you did actually that on the podcast that week that Stratford, Texas, is closer to 4 other states' capitals than its own. Yeah. Kansas, Oklahoma, Colorado, and New Mexico.
It's wild.
Than its own state capital in the state. Like, I mean,
that's
and
interesting.
so I mean, I don't know. It's just it's coming.
Well, and there's a ton of people moving here. Like that's
gosh,
worldwide stuff, but like people from California coming and they're moving here, and those are people that are really, really good at football. So kids want to come and they want to play. I think Katy Pato is the perfect example of this, or a Shadow Creek, if you will. It was like you open up, you go win a couple state championships because you're technically like a 6A school playing in insert whichever 5A division, and Katy Pato is going to be 6A when the realignment comes, and they just grew and grew and grew, and when you keep opening those feeder schools, it's bound to happen.
Right.
They can't not expand at that point.
Yeah. Right. I was talking to one of our interns. He actually went to Allen. And I asked him, I was like, I'm always curious when people go to Allen, I always ask, how large was your graduating class? And he said about 1,300. And he's like, it increases by at least 100 each year. And I'm like,
that's insane.
That's just absurd to me.
I think when Terry Gamble was there, Terry mentioned that Allen was about the same size, if not bigger, than Rice University and a number of other smaller universities.
I mean, I can't believe.
I couldn't fathom. Like, I had like 250, I think, in my graduating class. Granted, went to a private school up in Omaha, Nebraska. But I don't know. I couldn't fathom, I guess, being in a graduating class the size of maybe my incoming class at West Texas A&M.
Right. Well, and that was
in high school.
I graduated with 112. So, I mean, Llano
that's crazy.
We didn't even have, here's how I always put it into perspective. Just because, like, even people like you that went to, like, Arlington, like, you're not in those 1,000 range, but probably 500-600 maybe.
But my graduating class, I think, was about 800, 850. Yeah, so it was still big, but not nearly close to being 1,000 plus.
No, and see, that still blows my mind because we didn't even have 500 kids in our high school. So it's like, that's how I always put it into perspective of, like, I knew every single person. Our graduation literally with like 6 different students speaking, all the administration lasted an hour, start to finish. Everyone got their diploma, and it's great. And it's like, okay, you're in and you're out. And I ask, people that grew up here, I'm like, they're like, oh no, there were people walking across the stage that I've never seen before in my life.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I
I
sat
can tell
next
you
to somebody on graduation day. I sat next to somebody on graduation day, and I was just like, "Hi, what's your name?" We had to introduce each other because I was like, "I have no idea who you are."
And meanwhile, I could tell you the name of the dead dog of the second cousin of their whatever. Like that's legitimately how it
Dead
went.
dog?
That's crazy.
Dead dog on a Friday?
That's, that's just to show you there. Already off the rails. But yeah, it's just like, it's wild to me to do that,
So 7A wouldn't surprise us.
No, not at all. I don't
it's
think at
coming.
all.
2024. I think we'll see that.
Yeah.
So.
And to throw a little bit of a nugget in there, if you want to see more content on that, Step actually put out, I don't know, 12 different articles, probably 6 different articles, not 12. 6 different articles on what each classification would look like if there was a 7A. So go check those out on our website if you're interested in
right,
that.
and that's the thing, too. I mean, a lot of them end up staying the same, but they're the ones that everyone looks at of the Highland Park. They're moving up,
Right,
and so
right.
There's a couple of different surprises there that we're always looking for that switch year in and year out. But I would say Highland Park's probably the big one this year, because people are always looking to see what that is.
Right, right. Let's go ahead and move on to a coach's question. So everybody knows that Coach Kevin Hoffman from Mart is retiring. Mm-hmm. So do you guys have any front runners that you think do you know anybody who might replace him, or the front runners who are going to replace him?
Oh gosh, I mean that's asking me to be Matt Stepp, which
I know. Yeah,
I have not.
No. I will just say it was poor Hoff had to be on the sideline of Falls City at the state championship game. Oh God,
because he got the coach of the year.
Yeah.
Someone goes, why is he standing on the sideline of the team that essentially
knocked him out
because he has to?
Yep.
No, I don't know.
It's more of a Matt Stepp question.
Yeah, that's more of a. But I will tell you, one thing we need to do with Hoff before he retires and sails off into the sunset on some golf course on like a deserted island somewhere, because he's gonna be living the life, right? We need to grill.
Yeah.
We need to test the grilling skills.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Yeah, because his Casey Thompson.
Because he claims he talks a big game.
He
and
does.
He tweets it.
I was just going to say, and it's his assistant coach. I want to say it's Casey something.
I mean, allow us to be the judges
that
of that, Coach Hoffman.
Yeah, it's his assistant coach, but he's always like, man, he's out here taking all the credit for all of this stuff, and he was like, I'm the one over here grinding. So it's I would love to see that feud in person too. Like that would be my favorite part of all of that.
That's what I think we should do. That we should do like a traveling podcast where we travel around the state and let coaches grill for us.
That's fantastic.
I have been trying to get that
barbecue for us. Like Chris Gilbert's like, come on down.
Oh yeah, absolutely. In the Cedar Hill, they do one of their assistant coaches. Step actually went to it earlier this year, but they do it like every Wednesday or every Thursday or something like that. And yeah, every week go out there, get some ribs. It's amazing.
You grill, we eat. It's a win-win.
See, we covered the barbecue
you get
state
some
championship.
coverage,
yeah,
your city gets some coverage.
We actually brought that up last night to Adam. We were like, hey, barbecue championships again are going down in April, and we're like, you need to come down because we need to be the presenting sponsor of that.
Yeah.
It only makes sense.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It only makes sense. So
Fantastic
that's
idea.
We're chopping away bit by bit at
Matt
Adam.
Stepp cover those?
He was in Canada last year.
Oh yeah.
So it was me,
Canada.
Tepper, and Powers, and Powers was a judge. We're standing there. We walk in. We're standing there, and they were like, "Anybody want to be a judge?" And when I tell you that I hope to feel the level of happiness that I saw in Greg Powers' eyes in that moment. Like, I've never seen a grown man look like Santa's coming, and that was Powers in that moment. And then he's sitting there, and the whole time he's judging, and he's trying to be super serious, but he sees me videoing.
Yeah.
And so he was like, and then right back down. It was
fantastic.
so good.
Powers is having to pinch it. He's like, did I die and go to
Heaven? Yep.
I mean, listen, did he? I just want to know whether he had a margarita with him. That's what he calls a margarita. It's called a margarita. Margarita.
Yeah, that's such a Greg Powers thing.
I actually started my career with Greg Powers. God bless him.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you got to
Oh, yeah, I
tell
was
the
going to ask
story.
you, how did you get into broadcast?
Oh, God. That's too long of a story, girl. Why shouldn't I have is probably the better question. No, I'm kidding, kind of. No, I don't know. It's a long story. I want to know, y'all's stories.
No, we want to hear. Okay, you go first,
I'm
and then
no,
we'll
no,
go.
no. I don't.
We want to hear about you.
At least tell the press box story.
Okay.
That's the best one.
She gave me a hint into that.
I will just tell you my first gig out of school was covering college football recruiting for Scout.com. After Kansas City, I had like a weird brief stint in Kansas City. It was like a midlife crisis thing. Then I returned to Texas. I cleared my head, returned to Texas where I should be. And I was working under Greg Powers. Well, it was the start of the playoffs in 2010. And Greg wasn't able to make it to, I've never called him Greg before. That was weird. I'm so sorry, Powers. I'm so sorry. That was really weird. He wasn't able to make it. And so he's like, hey, my buddy Matt Stepp, who at the time was working for Rivals, will be there. It was at UTA. It was Arlington Bowie and Arlington. I guess it was the regular season finale. And it was like the winner to the postseason. Like winner would to earn district title and then top seed in the playoffs. And he's like, my buddy Matt Stepp will be there. Like, he'll kind of show you the ropes, this and that or whatever. And it just was an absolute, like, nightmare for Stepp. Like, I don't know if Stepp knew what he was signing up for. He was like, yeah, I'll take her under my wing. He immediately regretted
I want to take her back.
Let's just say that. He immediately regretted that decision because it was, like, after a spilled Coke, dropped sandwich all over the floor. It was like he was cleaning up after a child, and I'm like, hey, so when do we go do interviews after the game? I'm getting red just thinking about it because I'm like,
that is fantastic.
How am I here right now after that? Oh my God, because of you. That's why I call him to this day my Mr. Miyagi, because he showed me the way.
I love it. Well, and that's what makes it so fun is you're still doing, like, you're still immersed in that high school football world. If you weren't, the story wouldn't be near as funny if you weren't, like, here today, you know?
Right. How embarrassing was I probably? I mean, poor stuff.
You're still here. Everything is okay.
He's like acting like he doesn't know me. I'm like, hey man, so when do we go to the field and do an interview? Like, no. Oh my God. But no, I'm just so thankful for him. Now I want to know y'all's stories.
You can go first.
So when I was it's kind of a long story too, but so March 25th, 1997. No, when I was little, my dad managed a bowling alley, and cool. When I was like 3, I would go I asked if I could read off the bowlers, like they had a senior league on like Tuesday afternoons at 3:00 or whatever. And so I wanted to be the one to announce the winner. And so they were like, we should have known since then. But then when I was real little, I always wanted to be a meteorologist. I would stand in front of Jim Spencer who was a KVU down in Austin. And I would stand in front of the TV with a sparkly microphone and like mirror doing weather. And then I obviously started playing sports and I really liked it and stuff. And it just kind of turned in like, I always knew that that's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I competed in a UIL impromptu speaking in 7th grade, and I won.
Which I love.
District champion.
Which I love, by the way.
Impromptu speaking. I love that.
Was it actually called like a speaking competition?
It was UIL academics, and so they had like the different speaking ones that you could do was like I think prose and poetry or whatever, where you would read and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, impromptu speaking, you literally go in there, and they don't have it anymore, which is what stunk. By the time I got into high school, they didn't have it, or else I really would have kept competing in it. But you walk in there and you get a little slip that has a topic on it, and you have 5 minutes maybe sitting in a room of thinking of giving like this whole speech about this specific thing. And so yeah, I made it into the finals, and so I had to go do another little speech thing. And yeah, you talk just off the top of your head for about 6-7 minutes.
Okay, this is like the second like academic like what do they call it? Extracurricular or whatever. Like right, like that I've heard. Okay, so someone told me North Texas now offers like a wine class.
They
or
do.
Something.
Yep.
Now I'm hearing they have like a speaking competition, like things I would have been really good at if they had offered that
wine
back
and
in my
talking.
day.
Wine and talking. We do that on a daily basis.
That I'm like, what?
We do that on a daily anyway. That's an automatic.
Yeah, so after I realized, I was like, oh, I'm actually like decent at this talking thing. And then I was like, dude, I could get like I could get paid for a living talking about football. Like that's all I gotta do is love the game and then go talk about it. And they're like, yeah, here's a mic. And I was like, sign me the hell up. Like, say less.
And she has been Emmy Award winning ever since.
Absolutely. Mine's not nearly as good as that. So
Mallory's modest too. Let me introduce you,
no,
Hartley. Modest Mallory is what I'm calling. No, you're a stud. Where'd you begin?
Well, thank you. So mine's super simple. My dad went to Michigan State, and so I started to get into sports probably when I was, I don't know, 6th grade, 7th grade.
You have a video.
Something. Yeah, I do.
She has a video of her dad holding her as like a 3-month-old or something.
Yeah, so it's I'm about 3 months. This was actually the year before Michigan State won the NCAA tournament in basketball. And so he's talking to me and he's like, I just turned in all your picks. This was about February. He's like, I can't believe you took Michigan State to go all the way. And I was like, that's so funny because I still do that. Like, I still make that mistake every year as picking them to go all the way. And so I guess really ever since then, I've made that same mistake every year.
Blessed and cursed ever since.
Exactly. So I guess it's just following them since I was really young, and I just knew that I wanted to be on TV or, I don't know, an internet show someday.
I mean, my dream was like, have you ever heard about a mediocre internet show in Louisville, Texas?
I was like, that's what I want to do. That is what I want to do.
Any kids, Greg Tepper's mediocre
Greg Tepper's internet show.
What have we done with our lives?
Exactly. So
how did I get here?
This is literally, it's literally like in the start of the movies, and it's like the person sitting there, and it's like, you might be wondering, hi, yes, this is me. You might be wondering how I got here. Like, that's how I feel every day I walk into this studio.
What if I told you they didn't feel accomplished? Next 30 for 30.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, that's kind of how I started. I think one day my mom had mentioned, like, hey, that'd be cool to make a living talking about one of your favorite teams on TV. Like, she pointed at like Erin Andrews or something, and I was like, good idea. Ever since then, I'm like, let's enroll in college.
Duly
let's
noted.
do that. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay,
thing.
wait. But like, you are like the voice of Mean Green Games, right? Like,
as of right now, it was her in the past. It was her.
Okay, when was the baton handed? How did that transition work?
It really never was, though. It was like, we never crossed paths. So she's 2 years older than I am.
Okay.
Yes.
And so she handed it off to Nick Laupius, who was the MC a year after you had left.
Yes.
And so that's kind of when I was hired because he
got
was
a new
leaving.
job in Amarillo. He's a play-by-play guy for the hockey team out in Amarillo.
Yes.
And so they needed a suggestion, and they went, and then so Mallory got to kind of train under him for a game or so, and then it happened.
Yeah. So that's the birth of my MC-ness.
Okay,
Yes.
but that's like that's a different skill set. Like, that's beyond just like reporting.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, you have to
Totally different.
It's fun.
infuse energy
See, that's the hard part.
into a college football stadium.
Yes.
Like,
Right.
That's not
the hard-
easy.
Well,
No.
and
you're
hers
really
is-
good at it. That's what
thank
you.
you.
know what I mean?
Hers is legitimately impressive because I got lucky. The time that I was there was North Texas's like 3 best years. I mean, that's when we went to the Conference USA Championship for the first time.
Right.
So getting a crowd hyped in a stadium where they're already hyped and there's people there and the stands are like, that's easy money. They'll drink. They're yelling at anything. like we come out and do
sober?
a Whataburger dance
What?
for your dinner, and they're like,
Wait, they're not
She's
sober
doing
for a
it
game in Denton? What?
Oh,
breaking news coming
farthest
here.
from. Yeah.
But it's like, obviously things have been a little bit more of a struggle, and so she's got to go out there and hype a crowd that's not necessarily the happiest right then, and that's way more difficult. Like, it's underratedly difficult when you're hyping someone that's not already hyped.
Right. And not to mention, we're kind of in a downward spiral just because of COVID.
Yeah.
And so there's not many fans that have been attending the games, not as much as there have been in the past, especially basketball right now. And students
indoors,
are still students are still on Christmas break. And so basketball, there's not as many attendees as there have been in the past just because of all the factors that we've been
Campus
having
is
to
dead
deal
right
with.
now. Yeah.
It is.
And
It
the
is.
the Christmas time basketball games are like,
But
right.
listen, girl, if you can do that, you can
do anything.
Yeah, I promise you. You can do
Oh,
anything.
yeah.
You make it look easy, though, so keep
Oh,
doing
thank you.
girl.
Thank you.
I
I'm
love it.
blushing. You can't tell, but I'm blushing.
I love it.
all right,
I
Malpa, do we have any more?
Yeah, I got one. First question. Do you guys know what bowl poker is?
Bull poker.
I didn't either, so I looked it up. Let me read you the definition of bull poker.
Did we sound intrigued?
Yeah.
Or what? Was that,
Like,
was that intriguing
You
enough?
had my attention. Now you have my interest.
We were like in sync there.
Okay, so I got. Oops, excuse me. I switched it to you.
Oh, hi.
I didn't know this. I didn't know what bull poker was, so I had to look it up. Let me read you the definition of it first, and
Okay.
then I'll read you the question.
Is this like illegal?
Yeah.
We're gonna get in trouble.
No, this nope. No, I promise. I looked it up. It says in the U.S. there is a contest played at rodeos where the contestants sit at a table in the middle of a rodeo arena, and an angry bull is turned loose in the arena.
bull.
Anyone who gets up and runs away busts out, and the last contestant to remain seated wins the game. Now, the question that somebody asked is, who would be, out of the best 3, the last standing in a game of bull poker?
Oh, I'm slow.
So that's
Yeah, I'm first out.
I genuinely, it's gonna be you.
Y'all duke it out.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
We're chill on the sideline.
I don't mean to flex, but I did run track in 7th grade.
Yeah,
so
exactly. We've got 7th grade track star over here.
Okay,
she's a runner.
Explain to me why when you first said that I was thinking bowling for some reason.
I need to enunciate.
You can tell that you are not country in the slightest bit. Because
you can so tell now.
I'm thinking, I was like
exposed
bowl. I thought you meant bowl
I'm
as
like,
in
so
like,
how many pins and what weight is the ball?
Well, and it's funny. I thought bowl games I thought it had something to do with bowl games. That's where my mind went.
That would be.
And then you were like, yeah, you're sitting in a rodeo arena, and I'm going bowl games, rodeo arena. This is not adding up. And then bowl. Yeah.
Okay. The best/worst part of this is that we are sober and we still don't know. Like this is us sober. Right now. If people are wondering like what's going on. Like we still are like, wait.
They're like, did they drink some wine before?
Yeah.
Maybe I think so. Maybe I would win.
Yeah, you absolutely would.
Yeah, let's crown you. Let's crown you.
All right.
I don't know the last time I ran.
Like, what do you mean, Miss Basketball Star over here?
No, that's okay. Like, legitimately, just run. Like, hooping is different.
Yeah,
like, I can do that because I'm not thinking about running. But yeah, I'm talking about like the last time I've gone out and like if you ask me to time my 40 right now.
But think about this situation.
Can I stretch?
Yeah, exactly. Do I get time to stretch? I have a lot of questions.
Okay, but think about the situation that you would be in. You would be pretty much terrified of this bull hitting you. So you would be in an adrenaline rush.
Oh, yeah.
Which automatically makes you probably run faster. So you're probably going to be a little bit faster than you would think because you don't want this bull completely destroying.
But at the end of the day, you just have to be faster than the people you're running against.
Yeah,
that's like when a lion's chasing you. And
right.
My strategy would be stiff arming. Like if I can get you to the bull first. The bull. That's the other thing is bulls are very they get distracted by things. They hone in on one thing.
That's why they have that clown there.
Wait, how do you know that?
I grew up in
country.
Oh, that's right.
Like, yeah, I do this.
I dig this.
But yeah, no,
it's
a new
facet of pickle.
Oh yeah, no, okay, rodeo pickle's a real thing. I love rodeo.
That's
like
Fort
Worth is going
rodeo
on
pickle right now. I want rodeo pickle for a bit.
Well, did y'all ever do mutton? I'm not even gonna ask you. Is that a thing in Nebraska? Mutton busting?
Okay, it is, but not where I was from.
Okay.
But hold on, let me. Is that like little bulls, like baby bulls?
No, it's sheep. Yeah, the little kid. So it literally, this is how mutton busting. Mutton busting is little kids, like I'm talking little kids, go and they wrap themselves around a sheep.
I've seen it.
And then they open up the door and all the sheep run, and whichever little kid can keep holding on to the sheep the longest wins.
But see, I would be like the person that would just want to like pet
I just want to pet the sheep. There's always one little girl over there that does that.
I just want to take one home.
Yeah, no, there's kids that like really get into it. My cousin did it for a long time. That he would have a little helmet and stuff, and he goes and it's crazy because it's the cutest thing in the world because it's all these sheep and the kids are just holding on for dear life. And they're just watching kids fall down like crazy, sheep going everywhere.
I've always wanted like a baby lamb or a baby pig. Is that weird?
No. The teacup pigs are cute.
Oh, pigs! I would love a baby pig.
So that's like the most country I've ever gotten is like
you think they're cute.
Okay, so wait, can y'all back me up then when people are like, "Oh, you're from Nebraska. You were born and raised in a cornfield," and then I make a joke about like shucking corn before going to school. Like I am so far. Like, can y'all back me up now?
Yes.
Like I don't know what like. I am so far from that. I know. I'm trying.
Well,
I'll study next time.
My cousins live up in Wisconsin. My whole family's from Wisconsin, and so they always think like, "Oh, how do you get to school? Do you ride your horse?" And I'm like, "Do you see my lifestyle? I don't even know what a horse is." Like
in Wisconsin? Seriously?
I know. I'm like, you guys are so oblivious to
Wisconsin.
everything.
Yeah, there's beautiful farmland and stuff out there.
They used to make the joke of like I don't know, like snow dogs, like pulling you on a sled instead. You know what I mean?
I know.
Because I'm in snow. Okay, wait. What part of Wisconsin?
Let me think of the name of it. It's a little small town in Wisconsin.
I would have no idea even if you said it.
Spotted Cow? Are you familiar with Spotted?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it's Spotted Cow.
No. It's like it's a type of brew. It's a brew made. And I went to Milwaukee.
I thought it was a place. I was like, what?
I'm sorry. Okay, but it's only made in Wisconsin. It is only made in Wisconsin. Like it is not made beyond the Wisconsin borders. And I went to Milwaukee. My cousin got married there. She and her husband went to Marquette, and they had this like Spotted Cow cream ale that was like amazing, but apparently it is literally only made in that state.
Wow.
And so they're like known for it.
It's Wisconsin Rapids.
People
also
will travel there to like bring it back.
Cool. Yeah, sorry. Wisconsin Rapids. There's like a cheese factory there and everything. That's really all I know
Super
about
on
them.
brand.
I'm in.
Right.
I'm in.
Right.
Give me some cheese curds and
You
a
had me
spotted
at cheese
cow.
factory.
and
When I go up there
I'm
next, I'll bring a
in.
couple home.
Yes.
All right, Malpaw, do we have an ender, or was that it?
I think that was our ender. I think I meant that for us to
Erin
be
ended
our
with beer
ender.
cheese curds at the end. Like
You had me
and
at Cheese Factory, the
and
famous last
exit.
words
There
of
you
Texas
go.
football today. 'Cause
There.
we're setting the computer on fire, and someone asked that in the comments the other day. They were like, "Did Tepper quit?" And we were like, "Well, we don't think so, but we really don't know. Like, we could expected him to come back on Tuesday, and then it'd be like, nope, guess not. Guess he quit."
You're like, that actually hasn't been confirmed
Yeah,
or
I was
denied
like,
yet.
they asked,
so
I was like, you know what? I can't
We
give
don't
you an
really
honest
know. We haven't
answer.
seen him in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it was
I
like,
don't know.
that was the first time that we saw him last night. I was like, oh,
You still
you're
exist.
still alive. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Erin, thank you very much for joining us. We're glad that you could help provide nonsense with us for the last show.
Yeah, it was fun.
But we were like, we need nonsense. Who do we call? Hartigan.
Yep.
the
Not
super,
even a.
the super. I like that nickname stuck. By the way.
Oh, yeah,
Thanks,
Max Thompson again.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
supernova.
Wait, and does Max still take credit for being like the inspiration behind Tepper's second son's?
Oh, yeah,
naming
absolutely.
rights?
For sure.
Okay.
No
Okay.
one will ever be able to convince Max Thompson that Max Tepper is not named after him.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just
Absolutely not.
confirming.
Yeah.
So
We miss you guys. We love you. And Matt Stepp, cannot wait to see you again.
super, super excited.
Yeah.
Glad he's doing better and hope that he gets a really good homemade meal tonight. I'm sure Mrs. Stepp will provide that. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending part of your day with us. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Instagram.com/Dave Campbell. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Follow us on Twitter @DCTF. And, of course, see all of our work at TexasFootball.com. Thank you, Erin, for joining us. For Mallory Hartley, I'm Ashley Pickle. Vince Young, please come get your player. Oh, you need to do that.
Oh gosh. Okay.
There it is. It's way heavier.
Vince, I'm taking this home. Thanks.
Boom.
Statement.
Statement.
Football today.
That's a statement.
I've done this too many times. It is now my turn to just take it home, okay?
And with that being said,
That'll do it for us. We will see you not Monday. Monday we are off for
Yes.
MLK Day. We will see you Tuesday on Texas Football Today.